Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host.
Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna, and this morning we're visiting with Jason Phillips. He's a Simpson County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning.
Now, Jason, it's kind of been a roller coaster year as far as weather goes, and some of our pastures have suffered because of that.
Yeah, it sure has. And, you know, this time of year is a good time to start thinking about renovating pastures and hay fields, but we've had a lot of weed pressure this year. You know, it's been a wet year, like you say. It's kind of been up and down, and I've seen some pastures that are in need of some attention.
Absolutely, because it's kind of dried off here, and I know a lot of people are really hoping that they got some of those rains last week or are gonna get some, but it's still time to be thinking about seeding some of those cool season forages in our pastures.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great time to be thinking about seeding cool season grasses. You know, here today I have some fescue, this is fescue, and then some orchard grass, which you can see is comparable in size. This is just coated seed, that's why it's red. And then Timothy, which in our area we don't have a lot of success with Timothy typically, unless we're just, you know, growing it for hay purposes or something like that. It doesn't typically do well in a pasture situation. But I just sort of wanted to bring these today to show you the differences in size and just kind of what those seeds look like. Of course, also perennial ryegrass might be something that somebody would want to go with, or some other cool season grasses. Which typically we recommend planting anywhere from August 20th to about the end of September.
All right, and so they have plenty of time to do this, but if somebody says, you know, I really don't know what I want to put in my pastures, there's some things that we can think about, like species. I know you brought the variety trials here. Those are things that we need to take a look at before we actually seed.
Yeah, the University of Kentucky offers variety trials in which a lot of the forage specialists, you know, have looked at different varieties in terms of yield if you're thinking about renovating a hay field, but you need to pay attention to the grazing tolerance trials if you're looking at renovating a pasture. And I do have those with us today: tall fescue and brome grass, Timothy and bluegrass, tall fescue, well, I think I already said that, orchard grass, and also the grazing tolerance trials.
And we also have some trials on clovers and some legumes that we could possibly add to those pasture fields as well.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, not the time to do those, but we can certainly think about and go ahead and secure the seed for that when we do it in the spring.
And if you've not already pulled a soil test, you know, you should probably think about doing that also prior to seeding in case you need to add some, you know, some fertilizer to amend your soil, or some lime, you know, to make it a more desirable growing environment for these cool season grasses or whatever forage species you choose to plant.
Absolutely. And thinking about the species of livestock is important as well, because not all grass is created equal for the different types of livestock that we have.
That's true. And one thing I would mention, so if you're a horse owner, for instance, you know, you need to think about purchasing an endophyte-free fescue. Rather, you know, if you're have breeding mares, you know, you don't need to be turning them on endophyte infected fescue. So that's something else that you need to think about as you're looking at these trials. Focus on the ones that are endophyte free.
Absolutely. And if people are like, well, I'm not for sure, Jason, which is the most desirable species for my livestock, we have publications about that as well.
Exactly. You know, go to your extension office and talk to your county agent, and they'll be glad to you know, discuss different things that work well with your system.
And you know, one of the things, the reasons for failure a lot of times that we see in the fall is they have researched their variety, they've done all these steps, but they plant too deep. And you can see how small these seeds are. It's very important about depth.
About a quarter inch is desirable on most of these, and you got to get good seed to soil contact. You know, obviously we got to have a little bit of rainfall to get that established and growing, but you know, if it never makes it, let's say the grass is relatively tall, if it never makes it to the soil, you're not going to have any success. So you're going to have to get good seed to soil contact and plant at the proper depth.
Yeah, and we have all that information for any type of forage species that you want to plant in Kentucky at our office.
Right, yeah.
All right. Or you can go online. Forages, Kentucky Forages has a great website where you can find all this information, but there's so much information. Sometimes it's just easier to pick up the phone and call and give us a call. So Jason, appreciate you bringing the information to us. If you have questions about renovating your pasture fields or desirable forage species, make sure to give us a call.
If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.